But when we see these numbers, what are the one or two key issues for you? Is it iPhone sales? Is it China? Is it what else maybe they have up their sleeve?
I think there's three numbers we need to watch for in the results later today. The first is, Apple iPhone sales. 18 months ago, they were 2/3 of Apple's revenues. Last quarter, they were about 53%. Will they dip below 50%? If they dip below 50% psychologically, that's probably not good for Apple. The second is services revenue. Now, services is the growth area, TV services, gaming services, etc. Will that rise above 20%? If that happens, that's psychologically good for investors, I think. And if the growth rate is high, I think that could be the savior of Apple. And of course, the third thing is China. China sales comprise about 18% of Apple sales, but they've been heading down. They've been heading down at a rate of 20%, and we need to know if they're going to continue to go down because China's the third biggest market after the US and Europe.
Do you think they will continue to go down?
I think they will. I think certainly in the medium to long term, as long as we have these trade wars going on, I think China sales will go down, and I think Chinese handset manufacturers like Huawei, Oppo, Vivo will take up the slack.
And to your point on growth, can they make it up on the services growth rate? If they lose it on iPhone, can they make it up somewhere else? Or is there nothing that can really replace the iPhone for Apple?
I think for me right now, there's a risk that Apple's going through an identity crisis. It hasn't had a new product for 12 years since the iPhone came out in 2007. Not a real new product.
They did have the iPad.
Yeah, the iPad is really a large iPhone because it works on iOS, which is the same operating system. So I would classify that as really the same product, just a larger version. They also had Apple Watch, which is a slightly different operating system, but still part of the iOS system. They haven't really had a blockbuster product like, let's say, an autonomous driving car or a TV service. I mean, they've got Apple TV Plus streaming service, which launches later this year. But they're launching a TV service just at the end of the kind of internet TV era, a little bit like Microsoft buying Nokia in 2013 when everybody's got a mobile phone. I mean, in internet TV, Netflix is the market leader and Amazon's #2, but the whole industry is changing, and Apple is trying to be a Netflix when actually, content holders like Disney, Time Warner, Comcast, yourself, everybody is putting their content in-house on their own streaming services just at a time when Apple's launching its streaming services. So I'm a little bit worried about services.